Quadrant 4, Low Programming/General Postal Autonomy. They come in the next few quarters. If you are a creative task, or loose project on freedom for task completion means you must be a leadership non-directive approach. There are two ways that this form. One option is to use a consensual management style, consensus. Basically, this means that you go to your staff enough authority in decision-making. Instead of the boss, it's almost as if a part of a team. Make sure your employees understand their duties or responsibilities when using the style. Laissez-faire leadership style is hands-off, that you use it carefully. A member of staff will give you the freedom as and when they are going to do their job, but you're there when they need support or resources. You should only laissez-faire should not the extreme style in the right situation. If you are working with a highly qualified person motivated and smart, you can be very effective management style. To use the laissez-faire successfully, make sure that you have the right tasks to the right people to delegate. The mismatch between the task and the individual is likely that the additional staff help you need, and they cannot progress. Hersey and Blanchard recommend diverse management styles for individuals with varying levels of maturity and a path-goal theory of leadership styles appropriate to distinct individuals and different situations. Discover all this before you embark on your preferred style of leadership. Flamholtz, Eric and Yvonne Randall, Matrix Management Style, developed and published in her 2007 book, Growing Pains, The Matrix of Leadership Style, simple and useful model, which allows you to choose the most effective leadership style for your situation. To use the model, the first view to the task or project. If certain programmed steps follow, move the y-axis, but if the project or task is creative, the back moves. Next, at the people you are looking forwarding to running, if they want the independence, move towards the right on the x-axis. If they need teaching, interaction or feedback from you, Mind Tools, 2013. Laissez-faire micromanagement versus the right balance. Use appropriate style. Imagine this scenario: your boss has given you tasks without almost any direction as you want it to go. It specifies the period and is available and left to your discretion, but the last boss was the complete opposite. He would hand you a job, questioning your decisions and provide helpful advice on every corner. The two cases show the other side of the spectrum management style. The first boss is laissez-watch, other micromanager classics, hands-on manager, more politely known. Both types can, if they are taken to extremes, effective under the right circumstances, but generally, as usual, the best approach is just about the right balance between the two. First, one is let it be French. This is a very apt description in the style of management. P.O.L. task balancing. If your boss today you will be responsible for organizing the Christmas party, what initial have you developed a timeline and start the activity or assignment to the ones who do everything and try to plan rather to think their needs? If the design starts to fall behind, is what your preliminary reaction everyone chasing you back on track, or do you just cool to see that everyone just so busy, his work him/her, let alone other tasks? The answers for these questions can reveal a lot. Other people are much focused, they want to be happy people. Others are, and a combination of both. If you prefer to change the setting and enforcing tight schedules, we tend to focus on producing more, or task-oriented. If your priority and make people try to meet the needs of workers, people-oriented you are then. Find out the natural tendencies of the leader, so you can then work for the development of skills that you may be missing. An important framework for the work thinking in relation with a person ahead orientation by Robert Blake and Jane Mouton, developed in the early 1960s. Called the managerial grid, or grid guide, it shows the level of development activity developed in relation to the centrality of the person and identifies 5 combinations of different leadership styles. Mind Tools, 2013. Understand the model. The conductive grid based upon 2 dimensions of behavior. Concern for the people, that is the extent to which a leader knows the developmental needs and interests of the team to determine the best way for task completion. Concern for production, this is the extent to which a leader emphasizes concrete objectives, organizational efficiency, and high productivity in order to decide the best way to a task. Mind Tools, 2013. With the axis of the plot relates to the production of leadership, concern for people, Blake and Mouton identified 5 leadership styles. Country club leadership. This type of leadership is more concerned for the needs and feelings among the members of his or her team. These people operate on the assumption that the team members are happy and safe. We will work hard. This tends to create a work environment that is very relaxed and fun, but where production suffers due to lack of management and control. Lead, Mind Tools, 2013. Produce or perish leadership. An authoritarian leader or respect that people believe in this category that the employee simply a means at an end. Autocratic leaders rules, policies, procedures, and considers punishment as the most effective way for motivation. Exhausted leadership, low people. These are very inefficient systems to do the work, or to create a satisfying and motivating interface. The result is one of the disorganization, dissatisfaction, and discord. Normal people. It is like a balance between 2 conflicting interests. It may at first sight seem to be an ideal compromise. This is where the problem lies, however, if is compromised, but leaders must satisfy team needs. Team leadership, high production / hire people. After the Blake-Mouton model, this is the ultimate management style, resulting in the production of stress and needs of people as well. The assumption is that workers involved in understanding organizational reasons and determine the needs of production. When employees become involved, and have a vested interest in the success within the organization to meet their needs and production needs, it develops respect and trust within the team, more satisfaction, motivation, and thus high production. The application of the grid Blake-Mouton management. Be aware of the different approaches. The first step is to understand and improve how you run as administrator. It is important to understand how they work today, so that you can then determine how to become competent. 1. Find out your leadership style. Consider several recent cases in which he was the leader. For each of these situations, enter the network depending on where you think it should. 2. Identification of areas to improve and develop your leadership skills. Remember to analyze the current method of leadership and critical their effectiveness. Look at ways we can improve. Are you for middle of the road set because it is easier to catch more? Identify ways to obtain the skills necessary to the group leader. This may include the participation from the other to solve problems or improve how you communicate with them, if you find that you are working-orientated feel. Alternatively, it may mean more clearly in the planning and monitoring of the progress on the project. Continuous performance and rejoice when you slip into old bad habits.